Hello, Dr. Gary Knight. Welcome to our healing session. Healing session. We're going to talk about healing, the body healing itself. Healing is a internal, inside job. It's an inside job. It's not an external process. It's an internal process. You cut yourself, your tissues heal. You could put on antibiotics, you can Band-Aids and peroxide and all this external first aid. Depending on how deep the cut is, you might need stitches, sutures to close the wound, stop the bleeding. You may need a tourniquet, or you may break the bone, and you need a cast. But the healing takes place internally. The body takes the damaged cells and gets rid of them. It takes and the new cells form. New cells form, whether it be bone cells. Bone cells create bone cells. The blood eats up and takes away the debris, the damaged cells, and then gets rid of them through the circulation, lymph, and the scar tissue forms, and several weeks later, the scar falls off, and underneath the scar is brand new tissues, whether it be bone, muscle, underlying skin, dermis, the outlying skin, the epidermis, dermis, all the different layers of skin you have. If it's damaged, it's taken away, and new cells replace the old damaged cells. Miraculous. All not under our conscious control, but it does happen unconsciously, superconsciously, supernaturally, spectacularly. That's why we call it spectacular health. And you can achieve spectacular health because the fasting helps this internal process. I can recall our daughter broke her wrist. Now, she was in college, and I don't remember how she broke it. Was she playing softball or? But anyway, she broke her wrist, and maybe senior in high school softball team, and she was going into the architectural program at Temple. But at any rate, she broke that wrist, and it was a problem because it wasn't healing properly, and it wasn't aligned properly. It was misaligned, and put the cast on and looked at it a month or two later and saw that it wasn't healing and it was misaligned, and he had to re-break it and try to realign it properly, but it never really did align properly. And the orthopedic surgeon said you're gonna have to do surgical plate and screws. And that was a problem because Tiffany was going to be studying architecture, and she needed the wrist, she needed to draw, and she needed to make projects and things like that, and this would very much hinder her ability to do this, because she not only did they have to do the surgery to put the plate and screws in place, but they had to do surgery later on to remove the plate and screws. Well, we weren't too happy about that, and we opted not to do the surgery. And she had some difficulty with even non mending, non healing of the bone. After a month or two, the bone was not healing properly. So that was quite a concern. However, after 2-3 months, however long it was, there was some callus formation starting to occur. And this was a great news. So we followed that along. To make a long story short, the bone started to mend, and it was about time to take the cast off, and one more x-ray was needed to confirm that. And when we looked at the x-ray, this final x-ray, before removing the cast, the bone had realigned itself perfectly with no interruption in the line of the bone. It was perfectly mended. That's the power of the body's self-healing mechanism. And this is what we're talking about when we look at fasting and how it helps the healing mechanism. It's not found in any pills or remedies, but it is a power that we have. We need to recognize it. And that was just an example of a bone breaking. Well, you apply that principle to a variety of conditions, and the body has a way to heal that condition naturally. Now, I'm not saying that not to first aid band-aids and things like that, and medications and surgeries. They all have a place, but the healing mechanism is internally orchestrated. I'm going to leave you with that, and join us for our next lesson. We'll see you soon.